Yo, what's up guys? It's ZDavis, and in this video I'm going to kind of talk about the binds that I use, why I use them, and kind of the overall standards for competitive Apex, alongside, my video settings, my gameplay settings, and my audio settings. So let's take a look. So going into my gameplay settings, my interact prompt style is default, my button hits are on, my crosshair damage feedback is off, which gets rid of the X, the hit markers on the crosshair. The damage numbers are stacking instead of floating, which means it's going to show the total damage instead of one number apiece. My ping opacity is faded, but I think that's kind of a personal preference. I've seen people use both. I think faded is a more popular option. Obituaries I have turned on because that shows me the kill feed. Minimap rotation I have off, but that's also a preference. I keep it off because it helps me IGL a little bit better when I play. Weapon autocycle on empty I have on, which is pretty much a standard, which basically means when your gun is completely out of ammo and reserves and your clip, it'll just swap over to your next weapon. Auto sprint and double tap sprint both are off, which I think is also a preference because you're going to want to walk in this game when you're playing. You're a rat, you got to kind of hide and make no noise. You're going to be walking and crouch walking a lot more, so I have those both turned off. My incoming damage feedback is 3D, which I believe is the most popular option. Taking damage closes death box menu. This is the one that is, very crucial for people to switch when you're first getting into Apex, regardless of what you are playing. If you're playing just ranked in pubs or if you're playing competitive, what this means is when you get shot, if this setting was to be on, you would close your death box and you'd be able to, just start playing the game again. With it off, you would just take damage and stay in your death box menu. Hop up, I haven't changed it all. I don't know what it does. Stream mode and anonymous mode I both have off. People know who I am, I know who people are, stuff like that. Usage sharing is enabled, that doesn't matter. Performance display I have on, which is that little thing in my the top right corner that shows my FPS, my ping, my packets in and out. Go back down here. Club invites I have enabled, doesn't really matter. Colorblind mode I have off, so with this it basically changes the colors of mainly your crosshair is what a lot of people change it for. So when you have it off, basically it just relates to the enemy. Your crosshair will be red. When you change it to Protonopia, it'll be that yellowy orangey. When you change it to Neutronopia, it goes that more pinky. And when you go to Tritonopia, it goes to that yellow again. But I keep it off because I like the red crosshair a lot better. Subtitles off. I just do that because it, frees up the clutter in my my screen. I'm not looking at a lot of stuff. And then everything else I just have kind of normal or default off for both of these. These don't really matter. When it comes to my binds, I play a really low sense, so I planned 400 DPI on my mouse. And then my mouse sensitivity in game is 1.85. It shows 1.9 in my game. My ADS mouse sensitivity is stock for every optic. It's just 1. So there's no multiplier per switching. A lot of people do sometimes switch iron sights and the 1x and the 2x because it has these FOV changes when you look, and it changes the FOV slightly, so it won't be technically this sensitivity anymore. Mouse acceleration inversion I both have off. They are both useless. Please turn them off. And lighting effects is just like compatible keyboards, mice, stuff like that. I have it off because I don't have either. Now when we get into the keybinds, the normal standard WASD. Sprint is left shift. Sprint is left shift. And then jump is actually scroll wheel down. I have it on spacebar as well, so when I jump, I can just jump. I can use my spacebar to really kind of grab onto things a lot easier than my mouse. But if I want to do something like wall hopping or bee hops, just bee hopping around, stuff like that, I use the scroll wheel. So it helps. I also have crouch, toggle, and hold on different binds as well. I have toggle on C and hold on V. C just helps me, when I go into a rat position where I need to hide and make no noise, I will toggle my crouch instead of hold. Then I don't have to worry about, accidentally standing back up and having to go into crouch and make more noise. These next are really all kind of personal preference. I have my tactical ability on my bottom mouse button and my ultimate on G. A lot of people use Q and X, or Q and C, or Q and a mouse button again. Interact is E. I've seen people use F. Alternate interact really isn't used all that much. It's just if you need to pick something up and put it into your backpack rather than on your weapon. I have both my inventory and my map on toggle, and both of them are tab. I have my attack as left click because, you know, shoot your gun. I have toggle fire mode. I have seen people turn this off. I keep mine on B. It's a key that I really don't use. It's not necessary for me, but it's a good feature. I have ADS on hold, and I have it on my right click. Some people use toggle. A lot of PUBG players, I think, that I know in the past have used right click on toggle because that's just what they're used to. Melee I have on F, and reload I have on R. When it gets to the weapons, a lot of people just use 1 and 2. That's pretty standard. I have an issue, you know, bringing my pinky up, so I use scroll wheel up and I use my mouse button. So both of my weapons are on my mouse button, so my keys don't have to leave the movement keys hardly ever. When I holster weapons, I go to left control, and my grenade and my health item are on Q and T. I've seen people use G. I've seen people use T is pretty standard. I've seen people use 4 or any of the other numbers above. I don't have any on the actual like binded buttons. I just keep it on the wheel. For my utility action, that's just like putting up my Gibby shield. I have on H. I hardly use it though. Same for inspect weapon. I have it on N. My thumb just slides up and touches it whenever I want to flip my kunai around. And then ping is just middle mouse button, pretty standard. So going into my video settings, because I do not play controller, if we go to the top here, I play on full screen, a 16:9, which is our native res, 40% brightness, but that doesn't really matter. It's all preference again. Field of view, I have mine maxed out, but a lot of people usually go between like 100, 104, 110 are the real main popular 3. My sprint V-shake is minimal. My V-sync is disabled, and then I don't use this one at all. And then basically everything is low. So when we go down this list, you're going to see anti-aliasing is none. Streaming budget is low. Texture filtering is kind of in the middle. It's the 2x. Ambient occlusion is disabled. And then it's low for sun coverage, low for sun shadow, low for spot shadow, low for volumetric lighting, low for dynamic spot shadows. My only thing that I keep high is model detail. It just helps me to see kind of players better in some cases. Impact marks gets turned on high. You know, time and time again, I don't know why. When we go on my audio, everything's pretty much preference here. I keep mine at 60, but you know, I just turn my music and my lobby music off. I just don't enjoy it, especially when dropping. It kind of turns down comms a little bit since the ship is already so loud. So basically that is it when it comes to my binds. I have some of my other pro player buddies have different binds. A lot of it's personal preference. The one that most people always use is the scroll wheel. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like and sub, and share this with a couple homies that, you know, might be getting into the Apex scene and might want to learn new binds. That's kind of the standard for movement and, you know, just competitive play overall. So yeah, thanks for watching.